So first video, we'll be reviewing ISS Vanguard. We're starting off with a banger. This is one of my personal favorite board games. Here, I'll showcase the front of the box. This is the core box. And the back of the box. And pause the video if you'd like to read any of it. Along with the core box, I also have the miniatures expansion called Close Encounters. This box just contains miniatures, no gameplay expansions. This is the Galactic Almanac, which is a story and art book for the game. The two gameplay expansions, Lost Fleet, as well as Deadly Frontier. Now, I have not played Deadly Frontier or Lost Fleet, so I can't say much about them, but I can review the components that are included. So starting off, let's go ahead and unbox ISS Vanguard's core box. So to start the game, you get a comic that explains all of the backstory. I think this is a really cool way to start off a board game. I mean, comics I love personally, but it's very short even if you don't love them. It's just a cool way to start off and explain some backstory. Don't need to explain that now. Here's the rule book. Pretty hefty, pretty thick, but it's got a glossary on the back, which is very convenient. And I think it's written pretty well. This tutorial scenario is very neatly done. I don't think it was too messy at all. You learn more rules as you progress through the campaign. This is a campaign game. You start in the beginning. There's a lot of choices to be made, a lot of different endings, a lot of paths. It's very cool. The Planetopedia. This is a cool mechanic in the game. So there's two phases to the game. I'll get to the second one later. The first one is planetary exploration. So this is the sort of map that characters will be on. There's crew members. Slots for cards. Each one will tell you which log number to go to once it's removed. It's a great mechanic, and I can showcase more later. Secret envelope. I have not opened yet, and I will not share anything that's in there. The system maps. This explains all the star systems, the planet systems that you will be exploring. We then have ship boards and the operation book and the log book. If you've played other Awakened Realm games, you may recognize something like this. This is an app-assisted game. I personally prefer to play with the paper, but this is where all the text for the story is. So you'll be reading off of here to begin the story. Now, the second phase of the game, aside from planetary exploration, is ship management. This is by far my favorite part of the game. You get big binder to store cards and pages in. So it walks you through how to launch a mission, to end a mission, and there's a bunch of places for cards to go. There's different parts of the ship that are in here, like the research laboratory, where you can perform research to gain new abilities for your crew members. Next up, we have the production complex, and I'm not going to flip through all of it, but the hangar is cool. That's where your ships go, landers, and what else? Great mechanic, really cool, very unique. I have not seen many other board games do something like that. I think it's great. The core box also comes with a few miniatures. Comes with the ISS Vanguard itself miniature, which, not to scale, obviously, but it is pretty sweet. And it comes with crew member models, and I will showcase a few of those. And here's a big guy with a railgun. Pretty sweet. I'll showcase the player boards. In the game, you will be controlling 4 sections. Vanguard has over 100 crew members, I believe. And instead of controlling one character, well, I take that back. You do control one character at a time, but in a section. The 4 sections are Science, which is the purple. Security is blue. Recon is pink. And Engineering is yellow. Here's what the player board looks like. There's places for dice to go. There are a lot of dice used in this game. It's a big dice collecting system. Places for cards. And in the middle is where your character card would go, your crew member card. So when you're doing planetary exploration, you do take one crew member with you. If you're playing solo, you play more than one section. Other than that, it's just however many you want. And also, the inside of the box, I'm not going to show too much to not spoil anything, but here's what the inside looks like. Lots of cards. The core box alone is over 1,000 cards. And then these are the section boxes. Each one represents a section, same colors as the player boards. But as you can see from my campaign, I still have the dice stored in there, along with the section cards. There are lots of other dice and components in here, lots of tokens and whatnot. It comes with a little bag. Here's the standees that were replaced by the miniatures from the expansion. And yes. As much as I'd like to showcase all of the expansions, I'm running low on time, but the Galactic Almanac, great storybook. The story of Vanguard is that this junk DNA in human code relays these coordinates called the divine coordinates, and humans, it's explained all in the comic book, but humans are now able to travel through space many light years away and go to the divine coordinates, and the ship that does so is ISS Vanguard. So the 100 crew members all embark on a journey to get to the divine coordinates and learn what is there. But story expands throughout the game. Player choices can change what happens, all that jazz. It's very cool. Very great game. I love all the mechanics. Yeah, so we'll see how it ranks compared to the rest. I'll showcase some of my favorite miniatures from the miniature expansion. There's some cool ones in here. It does replace all the standees from the core box, stretch goals, and even the add-on campaign with models, which is very nice. Here's a really cool one. This is no spoiler. This is the Irrigator Behemoth. Big model. Comes with these clear blue plastic. Force field, shield type thing. It's a really cool model. I mean, you can see how big it is compared to my fingers. And on the other side of the spectrum, we have some very little models. So I don't know if you'll see it too well on the camera, but here's a very tiny miniature, and that is used in the game. And then all the ships are replaced with models. All the equipment. Here's a pod launcher. And I'm not going to go through all of it, but there's cool stuff in there. And now for the additional campaigns. We have the Lost Fleet, which takes place after the main campaign of Vanguard. And we have Deadly Frontier, in which you embark on a journey to settle on different planets with aliens. So, can't say too much about the gameplay of those, but they seem amazing. So I'm excited to get into them. Overall, this is probably one of my favorite board games that I'll be reviewing, but I'm still excited to review the rest of them. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.